Good morning. Got a big show for you. Lots of exciting things. Got 2 or 3 really high conviction plays today. It's 9 a.m. It's May 17th, Wednesday, May 17th. VIP pre-market show. We're going to have Vegas joining us at about 9:15 a.m. Looks like we won't have Tuttle Trades today. He's had some personal things to reschedule, so I have to reschedule Tuttle Trades. But we will have Rexman on Friday noon. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be awesome. We've been getting lots of great inputs from him on story trading ideas. It's helped us trade. Now, quickly with the banks, there was some news yesterday. So I have my eye on a few things: banks, energy, and retail data. Okay, so banks, we had some news from Wall. You can see it's up 12%. They said not only have the deposits stabilized, but they've actually increased. And the amount of deposits that are under FDIC insurance are much higher than they were before. So it sounds like, and you can see now it's above the 50 DMA. This could be pretty bullish for the short term on regional banking stocks. And you can see regional banks are up. PacWest up 10%. BOH up 1.5%. Zion up 3%. MCB up 6%. So that's kind of bullish news coming out of Wall. So that's one worry we're watching. Of course, we have the debt ceiling negotiations we got to be aware of. Also, retail, right? Home Depot came in bad. We'll go over a couple earnings on some bigger cap retail that just came out. XRT is an ETF. We're tracking for that. So XRT doing okay this morning because I think Target's probably up. We'll look at that. And we got Walmart tomorrow. XLE has been taken to the woodshed along with USO as folks are worried about recession. So lots of things to watch. I'm very worried that this is a very narrow participation, that what we're seeing in the QQQ is a flight to safety, and underneath it we have really bad economic data and we could get some sort of crash at some point this summer. I'm really worried about that. So keeping an eye on that and getting some hedge on in case that happens. All right, let's go to the morning show. It's a good one, folks. All right. First of all, just in terms of retail sales, Home Depot was bad yesterday. It's below 200-week moving average. Actually, we're short that right now. Target came out. Q1 beat, but Q2 guided down. And full year, they kept the same. So kind of like mixed results. And you can see the stock basically not moving much, 0.8%. TJ Maxx, they guided up, but it's still 3% below consensus for the year. And you can see that's kind of flat. They had pretty bullish commentary from what I could see on the press release. And then you had the Container Store, which really did bad. Unexpected offs and the new 52-week low over here on the Container Store. So not good news on that. All in all, things look pretty stable. You see Walmart getting a bid as Target wasn't so bad. They're reporting tomorrow. So as far as today, we're seeing some relative stability in the markets as we await possibly for the next shoe to drop. Now, APRN, we talked about this yesterday on the news that they got financing, or it's a letter of intent for $50 million. $50 million for 20% of the company. Right? If you do the math on that, you're talking like a $250 million valuation, right? Valuation now is $42 million. All right, but let's dig into the details and see what's going on here. There was an 8K filing that came out last night. Did some research on this. So first thing you need to know is that this is a non-binding letter of intent. Okay, first thing you need to know. Second thing you need to know is that they need to close this by June 9th. And the reason they need to close it by June 9th is they have some debts that are due. They have an additional $15 million in debts that are due in mid-June. So they need to get this cash from, what's the name of this company? Fresh something or other. They need to get this cash from this deal in order to pay off those debts. Okay, what else do you need to know? Let's look at the cash position. So basically, they had $32 million in cash at the end of last quarter. $32 million. They're burning $10 million cash a quarter, and they have $15 million in debt to pay off by June. Okay. Now, if you add to that, if this deal closes, they're going to get $25 million up front. They don't get all $50 million. They get $25 million up front, and the other $25 million are in milestones. So if they get that $25 million up front and they pay off their debts, they're going to have $40 million cash, a little less than $40 million cash, which gives them almost a full year of runway. So that's a pretty good outcome for them. But what's really interesting is what I'm going to do here. After we looked at the 8K last night, we saw that it's $25 million cash up front, not $50. So what if we just be conservative here? And instead of saying take 50 million cash and say, hey, 20% of the company is a 250 valuation, let's take the cash they get up front by June 9th, hopefully. That's 25 million cash, 20% of the company. That's 125 million valuation. The market cap's 42 million. That gives you a share price of like $1.75. All right, now let's look at the technicals and see how that lines up. You got some resistance here at the 50 DMA at about 64 cents, something like that. And then after 64 cents, guess what? The 200 DMA is up here at $2 and declining. All of a sudden, $1.75 to $2 doesn't seem that far out of the question. There are some other candle resistances to be aware of. But this very, very much reminds me of LILM. So LILM, when they got financing, you see here we had a target of at the 50 DMA. It broke the 20. Our target was a 50 DMA at around 70 cents. And it broke it and kept on going towards the 200 DMA. Didn't get all the way there. And this ran for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This ran for like 9 days till it got to the peak. All right. So I think this is set up to potentially do a similar run. But what's the risk here? The major risk is the deal doesn't close. All right. June 9th is the deal. So what's the market going to price it at? That's going to be your decision, right? How you think this is going to go. Is the market going to say, hey, 25 million, $1.75 valuation, or are they going to say 50 million and that's a $3.50 valuation? And then you got to look at the bears who say this is just a non-binding letter of intent. Maybe the deal's not going to close. And then you'll have others who say, hey, even if you do the math on what this other company's paying them, they may be paying 125 to 250 million valuation, but I still don't believe the story. Yes, they're going to have 3 to 4 quarters of cash, but I just don't think it's going to work out. So there's always someone on the other side of the trade. All right. But net, to me, I think a guide that a lot of the net aggregate, like investor opinion out there, I think is going to be looking at this valuation and saying, hey, if this third party company coming in here willing to put 25 million cash down now and an additional 25 million in milestones for 20% of the company, well, at least I should be willing to pay at least 125 million market cap for this thing, which is $1.75. That's the way I'm looking at it. Okay. But again, the big risk is what if the deal doesn't close? So this is a very, very interesting opportunity. APRN, that's APRN, top of the watch list today. Another one, top of the watch list is going to be LAZR. That's LAZR, Luminar Technologies. This has been oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, APRN has a big short position. All right. It's 13.62%, which is something like 8 or 9 days to cover, something like that. All right. So that also can add fuel to the fire. Now we go to LAZR, big insider buy by the CEO yesterday, 1.2 million shares, over $70 million purchase. Now, this is highly shorted. Goldman Sachs hates the company. I don't know. Maybe they hate the CEO. I don't know. 27% short. This is a little trickier because there is that strong bear thesis out there by Goldman Sachs. But at the least, I think this kind of puts a floor in the stock. I don't know if we successfully to sell puts on this yesterday. But I think this helps the case to say, hey, this probably isn't going below 550 when the CEO just bought 1.2 million shares at like 590, 585, something like that. So that's pretty cool situation. And then you have your upside target possibly of 650 on LAZR. This is a fast mover during the day, has lots of big spikes you can see here and big drops. So that's a second pick for today to keep an eye on. Another one, QUIK. QUIK had earnings. So this has been on a watch list for a long time. I've been following this company closely, been on a lot of conference calls. I read the transcript last night. So the earnings were mixed. Okay. The EPS beat by 2 cents, but they missed revenue by just a little bit, a little less than 200,000. But the guidance was really, really good. And they kind of like accelerated. Before they talked about, I think, 30% revenue growth for the year. Now they're saying at least 30% growth. And we're like really confident about it. And don't forget, this is the company with the $75 million or so pending from the U.S. government on the radiation-hardened semiconductors, okay? Radiation-hardened, and that business is growing, and it's not just from the U.S. government. And we know from their partner SKYT that SKYT had a great quarter, and a reason for that great quarter by SKYT was the government pulled forward a lot of contracts because of urgent national security needs, okay? So remember, these hardened, radiation-hardened chips are used for satellites, okay, military satellites. Where to go? QUIK. So they're in a good business, in a good space here. And I think there's probably going to be a decent chance sometime this summer we're going to see that press release. U.S. government, moves forward with additional 70 million. Their backlog here is like 130 million, something like that on QUIK, and they only have a market cap of 74 million. They're burning like 1 million cash per quarter, and they have like 40 million cash. And also, they're forecasting a flip to profitability in Q3, and they're saying it's going to be full year profitability as well. And they're saying that's going to be sustained going into the future. So they're basically guiding for a company inflection. That's what they're guiding for. So QUIK seems like a pretty interesting company, perhaps for the long term. I don't know how it's going to do today because the headline wasn't so great. So maybe not necessarily a trade that's going to pop today like VTSI did yesterday. All right. Speaking of VTSI, that was a huge winner yesterday. And I told you yesterday, I think the buy range was 6 to 660. I'm going to stick with that. I think the buy range is 6 to 660. And your sell range is probably, 750 and above, something like that. For now, that's VTSI. That worked out pretty well. Also, just want to jump to CVV. What a call. This was really the call of the day. Short CVV. We gave you this yesterday morning on that terrible earnings report, and it hit the target to the penny right there. 200 DMA. Maybe it went a penny below. So that was a beautiful call yesterday. We had two beautiful calls on CVV and VTSI. One thing we failed to mention, I did mention it in my chat room, but I totally forgot on the show, and we didn't play it because I forgot to mention it. If it doesn't make it to the show, it's not on my mind either. NVTS, they beat and guided higher. I don't know this company well. It's in the semiconductor space. I think they're in the silicon carbide and gallium nitride space. And we got wind of this company because of a deal they did with RELL, some sort of sales partnership with RELL. That's how we found out about it. That's how it's on the watch list. I never really had a chance to research it. So there's a lead. If someone wants to take it, NVTS, do the research. If you like it, let us know. Post something in our app or somewhere in our community. By the way, our app got an update today. So storytrading.com/app. Make sure to get the update. Not very visual updates that you're going to notice, but a lot of functionality improvements in terms of posting links and nuggets and images, both as nuggets and in chats, and just the chatter back and forth and notifications. Improvements to make the app more conversational and more engaging. So that just came out late last night. Okay, what else we got? Tesla had this event yesterday with Elon Musk, and while he was talking, the stock was going up. I mean, his smart, and I love what he says. I don't love it because we've had a couple days in a row of good news, and the stock reaction is kind of muted. I think the valuation's high right now. It's trying to hold that 20 DMA. I like it for the long term, but the short term, I'm not convinced that this is the catalyst we need to move towards 176. So not a top pick for me today. And then Kodak has just been brilliant. I don't think I sold any yet, but it's getting close to target one. So I think it was $4 and $4.30 were the two targets we gave on Kodak after that great earnings report, like flipping massively to profitability, just beautiful. So Kodak's still working. AUGX, another one that was just beautiful. These are the two picks of the week. So I gave you guys, I gave Wolf Spaces, and I let you know about it yesterday morning. This one also just basically bounced off this support right here, the bottom of this candle, close to the 20 DMA, and made a sick move over there. And I love this. This is in my personal account, my IRA. Here to look at. We got Vegas coming on in 1 minute. Let's just see. All right, we'll talk to Vegas in a second about all these big caps that we've just nailed recently. Google and Amazon, NVIDIA. I haven't personally nailed it, but Vegas has. I totally missed the NVIDIA story, but a lot of this being driven by AI, what's going on with Google right now. Baba has earnings tomorrow morning. So we don't play earnings. We do have a small long-term position. So anything that's long-term allocated, we will play earnings on. So what else do we got here? And I think that's all I'm going to cover until we get to Vegas. All right, so I'm a little early. Let's just scroll. If anyone has any comments, it looks like we have about a minute. So if you have any comments, you could throw it in the chat, and I'll try to look at it before Vegas comes over. Taboola drives AI-powered personalization for top publishers, driving over 15% increases. This is a big one. Taboola, strong fundamental company. Technicals have been strong on this recently. This looks like an interesting headline. Let's see what it is. If we have time to look at this, it looks like we do. All right, so looks like maybe a new product or just an update on some data on how this AI offering can help publishers. Not really getting a bid yet. When did that come out? That came out 9 a.m. 15 minutes ago. Hasn't really moved, but Tableau one to watch because their fundamentals are good. Maybe when this gets back here to the 200 DMA, 269, 270 might be a buy on Tableau. Of course, that's a company with $1 billion a year revenue coming in from Yahoo starting next year. All right, so what else do we have on our newsfeed since 9 a.m.? I got PepsiCo, didn't look interesting to me. Blue Apron. Oh, there was a correction on Blue Apron. I think I said, did I say that? Yesterday, MarketWatch had a story that Blue Apron had 30 million in debt, and they corrected it, said, no, actually, they have 15 million in debt. We've corrected the article. So that actually gave the stock a little bit of bid pre-market this morning when that correction came out. And then we got SABR, which I know Tony from your community really likes. Sky Airline expands SABR distribution agreement and adopts SABR passenger service system. I don't personally know this very well, so I'm not going to have an opinion on this. But hey, if you think that news is important, then your technical targets are here at 355 and 369. All right. And I don't know. Vegas is a little bit late today. We're going to hang on for her because her analysis is really good on those big caps. And I really want to hear what she has to say on BABA and NVIDIA. And here she is, right on time. We're going to go to Vegas right now. Where's our music? Let's go. I need someone in the studio to press these buttons for me. Morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm excited. I just did this show digging into APRN. I'm totally excited about APRN and LAZR. I guess APRN and LAZR are my top two picks for the day in microcap space. And what do you got for us? I know we talk every day about these big caps: BABA, Amazon, NVIDIA, META, Google,
so
Tesla.
I'm going to say I'm looking for bullish continuation actually this morning on Amazon. I'm really liking the price action here. And so really watching here with Amazon in particular, if it can have a move and break over, let me see here what I have here. Oh yeah, over 114.50, which it's setting up to do that. We could see a really nice move actually towards 117.
Oh, what a beautiful chart. Oh, what's the top of this candle? 114. Oh, we're over 114.
Yeah.
Aha. I like this to 120. I think we talked about this yesterday with these same numbers.
Amazon looks great. So I really want to see this go. And
it does look great.
Has room to 117 today, 117.20. So that looks really good. AMD looks good too. Needs to get over 103.25. But those are the only two right now.
Yeah. I just want to remind. Hold on with Amazon. I just want to remind people that one of the things that got me excited is speculation that they're going to get more into AI, and maybe they're going to release Alexa AI, and then you can have these ChatGPT type conversations with your Alexa. I'm just dreaming for that moment, and I think that would really skyrocket Amazon. All right.
Yeah, I think so too. And you know what? The other thing too is yeah, Meta. Let's not forget Meta. Okay.
Yep.
Because Meta looks phenomenal, and if Meta it tried to make a move yesterday, but if it can break today this 239.40, okay, Meta's gonna have a nice move towards 243.10, and I'm looking for Meta to go to 250. So not today, but in the next over the coming sessions, Meta is going to have a move. So that's looking really, really good. And
are you I know you look at money flow. What's driving this? Is it the technicals, fundamentals, or what's really driving?
I think it's both. I think it's more it's also the money flow, but also the AI. Meta has a lot of AI. They've seen that ever since they released Reels. I mean, you can see Meta if you look at the weekly chart. I mean, it's a nice weekly chart. It had an inside day, and it's kind of had that 2 days in a row. But the thing is, Meta wants to gap up and go. And ever since they released on their Instagram these Reels, their ad revenue, their actual revenue coming into the company, has gone up 45%. So there is, and this is based on their AI technology. They're noticing that by implementing this stuff, their the people are spending money online. So it is helping them with growth. So the AI technology is going to expand and they're gonna do well. So
That's
this
great.
so
I
this
did
is good
not
to
know that
know.
at all about their Instagram ads. That's good to know.
Yeah, they got
Oh,
the reels, the Instagram, those they have like the reels. They have this thing called the
mhm.
reels, right? And their
Yeah.
AI intelligence. And don't forget, they hired a Norway-based engineering team to support their AI technology, and they're testing out generative AI advertising tools. So if people, people are sometimes overlooking Meta as part of an AI segment, but they play a very big role in the social media apps because the reels give them monetization on Instagram and on Facebook. They went up 40% on Facebook on the quarter. So the fact that they've hired also these AI tech specialists is phenomenal. And they have welcomed a lot of highly specialized engineers to the infrastructure team at Meta. So this is one to not overlook for AI technology. And people will be be shocked to hear that, but they're going to do really well. So I think one
So
to watch for Meta.
are you? That was great information on Meta. Your top two though is Amazon and AMD, or you like AMD over Meta? What about Nvidia?
No,
I
no.
know you've been on top of
Amazon's
that.
my first. Amazon's my
Yeah.
first. Nvidia is a no-brainer. I mean, I'm already in Nvidia in my own. But the reason I'm in Nvidia is because earnings is next week, and I will hold into earnings. And also, they have an event in Tokyo, so there is a catalyst there as well with Nvidia. So
So
the cat.
you like AMD over Nvidia, or which
No,
way?
I like Nvidia
Okay.
over AMD. AMD, I think AMD. I mean, AMD is very strong. Can't overlook that.
Hmm.
But in terms of catalyst, Nvidia has the catalyst versus AMD.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I like Nvidia too. Since you educated me on it. That's
Yeah, so top pick really today is going to be Amazon's top pick. Google, I'm looking for continuation on Google, but I want to see it break 120.75. So if it can break 120.75, can definitely go into even a day trade on 120
man.
calls,
All
122
of these
calls.
charts, all of these charts look so good. It's just unbelievable that they're climbing this wall of worry, and bucking the market trend and the
Well, the
economic
thing
worry.
is
It's
that,
really
right now
unbelievable.
the fundamentals are still, tech sector is very strong. So, right
Yeah, it
now all
is.
this worry, and we still have a catalyst looming over our head with the debt ceiling, right? So if they do
Hmm.
come to some sort of agreement, they said they could come to an agreement either, if not this week, because even though Biden's not here, I mean he is flying back, but they could still talk on the phone. So if they
Yeah.
can come to an agreement, let's say this week, that should put a pop in the market. Or if they do come
Yeah.
to an agreement, let's
That's
say
true.
next week before the long weekend. When's the long weekend? Next week or this week? When's
I think
Memorial
it's
Day
this.
weekend?
I think it. I'm
Is
not
it
sure, but I think it might be Monday.
Monday? We're
I'm not.
off, right? The market's closed. Memorial
I'm
Day.
not sure. I gotta
Yeah,
check.
market's off. We're closed on Monday. Market's closed on Monday.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Memorial Day. So, but if we can have an agreement, if it's not this week, it's next week, that would be great. So that'll be really good for the market. So let me just check Memorial Day. So it's yeah, it's
Yeah. I'm
it's it's
also
actually
okay.
Monday. It's actually not this Monday, the 22nd. It's May 29th. So the
Oh,
following
May
week.
20th. Next
So what
Friday.
I'm
Okay.
so what I'm saying, what
Next
I
next. Got it. All right.
was trying to map in my mind, was that hopefully they could make a deal either this week or before the Memorial Day weekend, because they're not going to want to have a long weekend with the debt ceiling
Mm,
looming over people's
I
head.
hear you.
So
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
they'll get a resolution by
Wow,
next by
you are smart because I heard. I listened to Bloomberg on the way over every morning, and they were
yeah.
interviewing someone that says, "Hey, the consensus is it's going to be at to the last minute." But there was a guest there who was saying, "No, I think they're going to do something this weekend." And the host of Bloomberg said, "Well, you're like the only one who thinks it's going to get done this weekend. Everyone else thinks it's going on the last minute, and you're with that smart lady who was on Bloomberg this morning." And that was a good
Oh, good.
reason you gave. That was a
Yeah.
good reason you gave about that 3-day weekend. I like that.
Yeah, they're not going to want to go. I don't think they're going to want to go into a 3-day weekend with the debt ceiling looming on their head. And then that means they
Yeah.
have to work all weekend, try to get it solved. They're going to want to get it done by next week, in my opinion. So that they can enjoy their 3-day weekend. they're,
Sounds
those speakers are not going to
sounds
want to
great.
work overtime.
Sounds great, Vegas guys. Follow Vegas
Okay,
at
guys,
I
have
Love
a great
Stocks.
day. Yeah,
Have a great
let's
day.
watch Meta's a top watch as well. Okay, so watch this level I mentioned on Meta, over 239.40, and we're already at 237.9. So they can very easily make a move. So
Got it.
let's see what we do here, and have a great day, everyone. Trade safe.
Sounds good. Have a great day, everyone. And just want to remind people, I Love Stocks One on Twitter. She has her own Discord. And also just want to remind people, we got those top big caps from her, and then the small caps again. APRN, LAZR, the top ones to watch. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you. Maybe I'll come back on. Yeah, I'm going to do a post-market wrap today, right? I'll see you at 4 p.m. post-market wrap.